yes, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe to the channel. World of Tanks Blitz has a lot of tanks that have similar playstyles I mean, if you know how to play one particular type of tank, then you can pretty much predict that you can make the others work as well. If you know how to play the IS-3 for example, then you can pretty much be guaranteed that you will get on with the IS-5, the IS-8, IS-7, maybe 2, the 112, the WZ-110, etc. But there's also a few tanks that have a really unique playstyle because they have some really unique features, and let's face it, this tank, T95, is one of those tanks. It's infamous, it's the Doom Turtle, it is slow, it is not agile at all, it has a big gun up front and some really good armor. And it's just a classic. It is a classic tank. We're gonna have 3 games today. We're looking at old Prop here from the Losty clan, who finds himself on Mayan ruins and his team is sitting in front of him. And his flank is lost, as you can see, because the T92 E1 clears the Predator. But he's doing alright. He's sitting here, wall to the right, camouflage net erect, and then taking a look at the minimap. Hello T92 E1, how about some nice 640 alpha roll, well it's got to be 599, but 640 average alpha roll into your front. Because the T95 has a big gun, as said, and good frontal armor, make no mistake about that. Originally, it was designed as a heavy tank, or at least designated a heavy tank. It was designed during World War II, and it was designed to be used to break through the German defenses of the Siegfried Line, and maybe the possible planned invasion of Japanese mainland. This tank was designated T28 Super Heavy Tank. It was then redesignated 105mm gun mode to Courage T95, and then later on back to Super Heavy Tank T28. Because yes, the T95 and the T28 are just the same tanks. There's people stating, well, there were 2 versions and the other, one of them was the T28 and one of them was the T95. That's bullshit. There's just one tank, it's the T95, and the T95 is the T28. But the T28 in World of Tanks Blitz is a somewhat changed tank. Wargaming just basically took off one set of the trucks. They decided to add a little bit of frontal thing. It isn't even frontal armor, they just kind of gave it a bigger lower plate in a way. And they decided to knock off one of the sets of tracks, because if you look closely at the T95 you can actually see that it has 2 sets of tracks on the left and the right side of that tank. Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe, this tank was extremely wide. It had 2 sets of horizontal flue spring suspension bogies on the left side and 2 sets on the right side as well. And there was a bit of a problem because the tank, you had to take off one of these sets of tracks on both sides to be able to use it on rail transport. The other tracks could be detached within 2 hours, and after removal they could be fixed together to make a unit that could be towed behind the tank. There's a few photos on the internet. It looks really strange. But yeah, this tank, it had extreme weight, it had low engine power, and that meant that it didn't really lend itself well to crossing obstacles. It could not drive across bridges. It was considered impractical in the field and not suitable for protection at all. And if you look at the tank in the game, as it is now, you can see that it is indeed slow. This tank requires a lot of pre-planning, figuring out what is happening, taking a look at the minimap, and then you have to start thinking, right, this or that might happen, so that means that I have to start turning my tank, otherwise you'll get shut up pretty badly, because mobile tanks, they will just outmaneuver you. No problems whatsoever, no questions asked. Getting back to the original vehicle, this tank was so slow, it had such a bad engine, because it was powered by the Ford GAF engine. And the GAF was basically the same as the GAA, and the GAA was the engine used in the M4A3 Sherman tank. That's right, the same tank used for a World War II medium tank was also used in a super heavy tank. It had an output of 500 horsepower, which is not monstrous at all. It was also used to power the Pershing, the M26 Pershing. And the M26 was already underpowered, so yeah, you can imagine that a tank like the T95, which then comes in at 95 tons, 86.2 metric tons, it's not going to work at all. It doesn't have a turret, it had a fixed casemate, it had a really rounded mantelet, and yeah, it just wasn't a heavy tank, it was a self-propelled gun. There's one surviving example currently in the USA, and yeah, that's it basically for the historical part. I like looking at those tanks, and as far as tanks go in World of Tanks, this one is pretty much looking the part and really looking like the historical tank that it was, both in gameplay and in design. Right, we're looking at Team Trouble of the Team Trouble 2003, and what I said about pre-planning, you can see what he has been doing. He went forward, his team is pushing A cap and has captured A cap, B has been recaptured now, that's a bit annoying, but that gives Team Trouble a lot of information as well, because there's tanks coming in. Hello T55, boom, right through the side, 707, that is a nice roll. But this T55A that manages to wedge himself all towards the left of Team Trouble, as you can see here, he would have been able to maybe go backwards and squeeze his butt up against the building, but yeah, you just have to now sit here, bend over, take it like a man, because the AMX is shooting him and then ramming him. Lovely stuff, but let's clear this T55 first. Here we go, thank you very much. And then this guy with a pumpkin on top is thinking, oh, I got a pumpkin on top and a wheel on my front of my tank. What could go wrong? Well, you are a lighting thing, you can run away, but if you run over a vehicle, then you will slow down, and then this happens. How was that? HE, because this is a big gun. It's a 122mm gun, and this 155mm gun. This is the 80 gun T7, 640 alpha on your AP. You got 545 on APCR at 276 and 320 penetrations respectively, and you're looking at a 90mm penetration AT round with average damage of 960. This tank is about the gun, it is about sitting in a city map, I think, first and foremost, about blocking corridors, and yeah, it is in a way a boring yet exciting vehicle, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It is boring to play because as said, you're as slow as thick poo in a funnel. But if you can do stuff like this, hello Borsig, boom! If you can do stuff like this, then it's just really fun. And the big gun that it has, that 155-80 gun T7, that wasn't the gun that was on the tank itself. The stock gun was a tank that was on the real T28/T95 super heavy tank. That was the 80 gun T5E1, a 105mm gun. So in a way, this tank is kind of defying what I just said about being as close to what it was in real life. It was not, because it got a gun in Blitz that it just didn't have in real life. But yeah, I lied. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Anyways, if you've been watching my channel closely, and if you've seen the update 7.0 open test, then you know that this tank is gonna get some of those new consumables as well. I'm not sure if it needs it, because this is a niche tank. This is a tank for the players that like to go forward. Maybe you could add a finger of some sort of to your screen, and then you could just do your homework and pour yourself some coffee, or maybe even wrap a burrito. You could probably do that and wrap a burrito with your right hand while you're using your left index finger to go forward, or your left thumb, because all the games I'm showing you here it takes at least 1 minute to go to the center line of the map. And we're looking at Senti81_sniper from the AEJ clan in the T95. And he finds himself on desert sand and he's taking the time to aim. You can see that he's not taking a shot and he is now taking a shot. And all this long waiting has paid off. Burn baby burn, IS-3 Inferno, here we go. But he can't help his teammates because they got themselves isolated in the desert. And then the T49 is going to make the best move in the game. Take a look at the minimap. He's running for dear life. He is running for dear life. Senti is nearly reloaded. AP shell. Hello, Mr. Panther 2. Are you chasing a T49? Have you just been buffed? Boom. Go back to garage. Bye bye. And this Panther 2 is not. He's not amused, as you can see. Well mate. You just got outplayed by a T49. And then this T49 decides to outplay himself, as you can see also from the minimap, but such is life. But Senti81 Sniper, he's going to have a good game. He's making a few little mistakes here because he's going forward, as you can see, which he should not do in my opinion. He should have gone towards the left, sit next to the house near the cap. Because 9 out of 10 times, mark my words, 9 out of 10 times, an isolated T95 is a dead T95. But this is that last remaining out of 10 times. This is that 1 out of 10 times where the T95 manages to survive. Because troll armor and Murka and of course stupid red teammates. You have to have stupid red teams to be able to pull off a result that Senti81 Sniper is going to have. I mean, he's racked up 2k damage, which is good. He hasn't blocked any yet. That's a little bit bad. He's calling for help. He's not going to get any help because the WZ is in the desert, completely isolated. But luckily, that's a Borsig. Hello, Borsig. Boom! What's this guy doing? What's this guy doing? I mean, he's just running away now. Should have gone towards or behind one of those houses. That would have been better. And you can see that his IS-8 is now shooting Senti up the ass, which is good in a way. And this Borsig is going to do the right thing. He's going to shoot HE, knock the tracks off of Senti, lock him in place, and then he drives onto a rock. Just, yeah, keep flanking around. The Borsig is not doing a really bad job, I think. But the main problem here is that there is a lot of troll armor on this tank. And he should have just stopped, aimed maybe a bit better, and then sit behind the house. And he's not going to do that because he's flanking again. He's getting shot. Here we go. Thank you very much. 3 kills, 3,273 damage dealt. And Senti is indeed in a bit of a sticky situation. But so is the IS-8 who drives into a building. Who put the building there? Well, the game designers did. Thank you. When RNG smiles upon you. I told you 9 out of 10 times an isolated T95 is a dead T95. But this is that 1 out of 10 times where the T95 shines and where the rainbows become available and they become visible and there's nothing that can hurt you. At least not to the point where you are really dead. Not even this IS-3. There's 2 tanks left now. Take note of that. There's 2 tanks left. Senti's gonna go forward. He's got AP loaded. There is the IS-3. He's rolling backwards, rolling back. Because the T95 is a slow vehicle. And that means that you have to trade damage for distance. You have to sometimes just back up to make the enemy approach you. Because you've got a big gun. And if they have to approach you, you can close the distance. Hello, IS-3. You didn't really take this into account, did you? Here we go. But Senti... No. Don't raise your gun yet. There's still another tank. The battle is not finished yet. He now realizes that too. Oh god, the battle isn't finished yet. You still have to... Yes. Yeah, maybe you haven't won yet. You still have to kill 1 tank. And everybody knows, or that Waffle knows... That Waffle knows that you're here because you were spotted and you've killed the IS-3, but you are spotted now yourself, I think. When's it gonna be? When's it gonna happen? Where's the Waffle? Where's the Waffle? Where is the Waffle? That tank has a good camo rating and a big gun as well. Yes, is he in the desert? Where? Oh, there's a Waffle, there's a Waffle. Turn around, man, you spotted, and HE shot. No idea where that bounced, but he did. And that's how you carry a game in the T95. By positioning well, by shooting big gun HE stuff at people and having a bit of luck with Muppet teams. So, yeah. You're all doomed! You're all doomed, but it's going to be at a slow speed. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Cheers, happy tanking!